What I've not told everyone about is my UAP UFO story.
Oh, you said it right.
All right, I'm going to start with spoilers. I was not abducted, and aliens did not put anything in my butt.
Oh,
So,
was something already there, or
ha ha ha. No, you guys should come out here and see this. And I'm like, okay. So, we throw on some boots and clothes or whatever, and we go outside. And they point up in the sky at a star. However, this did not just sit there and twinkle like a normal star. For like the next 30 or 45 minutes, we watched this star like move down, and then it would move to the left, and then it would move down, and then it might move back up. It just kind of was randomly just kind of going everywhere across. And it wasn't like zipping across the sky like, like a bug or anything. It just kind of gradually would work its way down. And I would sit there and look at like other stars and like trees and stuff as like a point of reference to, it was my eyes playing tricks on me. And you would see it just kind of ease its way down. And then it might ease its way over. And it was just really earlier weird. When I was talking about those mystery shows, I remember lots of them being about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And then whenever I got older, I learned that the number of ships and planes that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle is no more than any other place in the world. It's not special. But what about the other triangles? Were you aware that there are other scary triangles?
Like isosceles?
This area is known for a collection of paranormal and creepy stories and random creepy events. There are reports of crimes. Okay, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts, UAPs, Bigfoot, Thunderbirds, curses, cults, and tiny people called the Pukwudgie.
Okay.
People have claimed that they've seen the ghost of a man, probably one of the chiefs, that were both killed by British soldiers, can be seen sitting on the rock. It's really, really pointy, so I hope that isn't true. That would be very uncomfortable.
Just up there spinning around.
I mean, this one is so funny. Like, this is one of the more popular triangles, and most of the time whenever I'm reading it, I'm just kind of like shaking my head because I'm a little too skeptical. Speaking of skeptical, the Pukwudgie, the people I mentioned before, are tiny humanoid beings that live in the woods, according to the Wampanoag. There are reports from various hikers and dog walkers stating that they have seen the tiny beings. One that I read from 2023, one account, the woman states that she saw a tiny being covered in black hair and glowing green eyes. It might be a black cat.
Yes.
Most reports show them to be tricksters that try to lure people into the woods. Some stories say they do that for unknown bad reasons. It's like, oh, they want you in the woods. We don't know why, but it's bad. It's also said that they might follow you home. Either way, the recommended course of action if someone encounters one is to ignore it. Ignore the tiny Pukwudgie.
I don't know if I'll be able to ignore it.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah. So if you're listening and you're ever in that area and you see a tiny little Pukwudgie, I'm going to say that advice that they gave is wrong. And if you encounter one, at least try to get a selfie with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to see it.
Yeah.
And I would be like, show me your Pukwudgie. Show me your black hairy Pukwudgie. There was one alleged local, that just passingly said that she saw a Bigfoot just lounging by a stream. Now, if I ever see a Bigfoot just chilling out, I'm taking a picture. So I call bullshit on this woman. That's why I have a hard time with these.
Okay, I have a quick question about Bigfoot.
Okay.
Is he a singular person, like a singular being, or are there several species of Bigfoot? Is like that a species where you see him in a bunch of places?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it's the whole Sasquatch thing. I mean, one, it's debated on what it is, anyways. If it's an ape, is it a man? Is it some mix in between?
Uh-huh.
There's some people that think that all the Sasquatch legends were just wild people that lived out in the woods. So I don't know.
Oh, all right.
It's I can't give you the the
Just
details on an unproven imaginary, possibly
right.
imaginary
I'm just wondering
predator.
how some people could see it in Oklahoma, and then people also could
Oh,
see it in Maine or
I mean,
Massachusetts or wherever.
I mean, it's never been nailed down in one place. Now, what makes it even funnier though is you have all these places that have creatures that are described to be like Bigfoot, but they all call them something different. Because you got the Boggy Creek monster in Louisiana,
Uh-huh.
you got the skunk ape, and I can't remember where the hell that's at. Uh, what else is there? There's I think the Beast of Bray Road is supposed to be like one of those. I mean, it's just it's I don't know. Either they're all the same thing, or that, or we got like different varieties of Bigfoot that we still somehow have not managed to get adequate video or a corpse of.
Now, if there were multiple of them, would we have to call them big feet?
We're gonna go a bit north, so I'm not getting down New England yet. We're gonna hit Vermont. This is where the Bennington Triangle can be found. Now, it does not have three clear points like the Bridgewater Triangle, at least not that I could figure out. Uh, but it is used to describe an area that's in the Glastonbury Mountains. An author named Joseph Citro came up with the name when describing the area of southwestern Vermont that had 5 disappearances between 1945 and 1950. So now we got something, a little bit dicey because, like, you got a small area, 5 missing people. All
5
right,
years, yeah.
I'm listening. 3 of them were people that got lost in the woods, and one of them, they eventually even found a body. So it's hard to call that one like a, disappearance because something
People,
reappeared.
yeah, people get lost in the woods a lot.
Yeah. But one of the ones that was not just somebody that got lost, it was an 8-year-old special needs boy that was left in a truck. And when his mom came back, he was gone. They got out the search dogs. Dogs tracked him to a stream. Trail ended there. Just whoosh, gone. Some claim that the Lake Michigan Triangle isn't even a triangle, but actually a rectangle. I would love to watch this debate. I really would. Some say it's got no real, like straight line shape at all. It's just all of Lake Michigan that's, mysterious and creepy and whatever.
Uh-huh.
Of course, some say it's all nonsense. I say it's a triangle because it goes better with this episode's theme.
I agree.
So it's a triangle, Lake Michigan Triangle. They break down the door and they find the cabin empty. There were 2 portholes in his cabin, but unless he was the size of a skinny toddler, he wasn't fitting through those.
You said porthole.
Yeah, I said, I did say porthole. On June 23rd, 1950, Northwest Airlines Flight 2501 was flying 58 passengers from New York to Seattle. While over Lake Michigan, the pilot, Captain Robert Lind, okay. I wonder if I left a T off. Oh, well, I'll call him Captain Lind. Captain Lind requested permission to descend to 2,500 feet. They had flown into a bad electrical storm and they were fighting high winds.
You say
The
2,500?
Yeah, he wanted to dip down down to 2,500 feet.
Oh, that's really low.
Yeah, and the tower agreed, and they said no, which I'd be like, bitch, you ain't even on this plane. Don't tell me what the fuck to do.
Yeah, I'm doing what I think is right.
Yeah, well, whatever decision was made, whether he said, fuck you, I'll do it anyways, or he did what the tower said, it doesn't matter because the plane disappeared from radar and stopped responding to communications. Once, they got out, they hauled ass to get out there, they searched Lake Michigan for wreckage. None was ever found. However, in the following days, human remains began washing up on the shore, but nothing from the plane. So, what happened to Captain Donner in Flight 2501? Is it a portal? Aliens? A giant lake monster? Toyotathon? Triangle of this episode is the Nevada Triangle.
Ooh.
This perilous polygon goes from Reno, Nevada to Las Vegas, Nevada to Fresno, California. That is a 25,000 square mile area, the largest of today's sinister shapes. Now, before you ask, and I know you'll ask, Area 51 is not within this triangle. It's east of the triangle. And everyone likes to point out it's right there next to the triangle. It's just east of it. And I get it. If someone lives next door to a serial killer and they turn up dead, you're going to look at the serial killer and be like, obviously, So, it's like, oh, this triangle where things go bad and it's right next to Area 51. It's obviously their fault. But I don't really consider the analogy a bad analogy with it being Area 51 being a serial killer. Because it is said that around 2,000 planes have gone missing in that area over the last 50 years.
2,000?
2,000.
I'm guessing smaller planes that aren't commercial flights.
You are correct. There are lots and lots of small planes traveling from California to Nevada. So, why do military planes and rich people crash here? Well, it depends on who you ask. There's the unique folk that point out its proximity to Area 51 that we already kind of went over. It's like, oh, they're shooting it down with alien tech. Some think it's portals. Being that in the initial search for Stephen Fawcett, it's reported that they uncovered somewhere between 2 and 8 older crashed planes. I don't think it's a portal. I don't think they're just vanishing. They're obviously crashing, and they're just never finding them because it's hard to find them all. By the way, many were hoping and speculating that some of those old planes were Charles Clifford Ogle's plane, but alas, they were not. He still disappeared.
Yeah. He flew to Florida to retire.
Yeah. Some people buy more into the mundane explanations. Things like pilot error. These are very tall mountains that are subject to extreme updrafts and pop-up storms. Things that really mess up a small aircraft. And if you don't make the right decision, you're going to crash.